Hey everyone, this is Rhodes Perry from the Imagine Belonging Substack. This is, I think, maybe my first live solo Substack, and I'm really excited. I wanted to share that many of you who follow my writing know that I'm in the process of putting out my third book, which is part memoir, part methodology guide. It's called Roads Less Traveled, and it looks at somatic leadership practices to help facilitate real transformation that not only helps you do the inner work yourself, but also helps to have that rippling positive effect on those that you lead. And where I'm at in the process, the manuscript is done. I'm working with a great illustrator. Her name's M North, or their name is M North, and amazing person. I've worked with M over the years, and I'm super excited to include those illustrations in the book. And so I just got back a sample book description. So a lot of people are like, "What's it about? What's it about?" So I'm just going to read this out to give you a sense of what is to come this fall. So here's the book summary. For entrepreneurs, executives, and leaders navigating an increasingly chaotic world, the instinct to power through is no longer a strength, it's a liability. Beneath the surface of constant performance lies quiet cracking, a silent burnout where the pressure to maintain the status quo slowly outpaces the body's capacity to endure. What derails even the most capable leaders is rarely the chaos itself, but the unspoken fear of the deep personal transformation required to face it. In Roads Less Traveled, bestselling author, that's me, Rhodes Perry charts a bold and necessary alternative, part intimate memoir, part immersive 12-week coaching journey. This book invites readers to exit the well-worn path of overexertion and turn inward. Perry introduces a radically human approach to leadership using evidence-based somatic practices, weaving in a powerful blend of personal storytelling, including experiences of grief, identity, and unapologetic trans joy. So last paragraph here. Each chapter unfolds as a week of practice, guiding readers to attune to the body's intelligence as a source of resilience, clarity, and grounded choice. Through reflective prompts and actionable exercises, leaders learn to meet exhaustion and empathy fatigue with presence, establish boundaries without disconnection, and respond to challenges with intention rather than reactivity. Structured in 4 parts, the journey begins by shedding the armor that conceals the authentic self. It then builds into consistent practice and deep transformation before culminating into embodied leadership and action. Along the way, readers strengthen their capacity to repair trust and build belonging spaces from the inside out. At its core, Roads Less Traveled is a reclamation. It's a reminder that the leader you seek to become is not something to construct, but something to uncover. And by the end, you will not only learn about authentic leadership, you will know how to practice it every day. So that's the essence of this book, and I am so excited to share it with you and just get this done. So that's just a draft. That's a draft of the book summary. What I want to include, Kathleen. Hey, it's nice that you're here. Yeah, I see a couple people here in the live. I was just saying at the top of the video. Not sure when people have joined. This is my first Substack live, so I don't even know where to look at. I guess I'm looking at the camera or anyway. So this is new for me, and just sharing a book update. And so I'm also going to include in here. I ran just to test some of the concepts of the book in the winter. I ran a Roads Less Traveled group coaching program. And in that program, it was a 6-week program. So it condensed that 12-week experience in the book. And I had a great turnout of leaders who just completed. So we completed actually on March 19th. And we're going through a debrief process to learn what worked well, what worked well in the program, what content from the book was super impactful. And pretty consistently, people had mentioned the practices that are enshrined in the book were kind of the catalyst that got them to experience transformation in their tissues. And that's all the somatic methodology that I've learned through the Strozzi Institute and really applying that in leadership positions that many of us find ourselves in. Uh, and so anyway, so the group coaching program is really taking the essence of the book and basically sharing it real time live with people who want to experience it, not just by themselves, but with a group of peers that get that it's really challenging right now. It's really challenging to be alive for all of us. I know for folks who are watching, you get that. And and if you're leading in any way, and we all are, we're leading ourselves through this world. We might be leading our children if we're parents. We might be leading our teams if we're in leadership positions at work. And so it's not only taking care of ourselves, it's also then holding that responsibility of other people. And so really this program was a source of support, and it also facilitated where each individual in the program wanted to be by the end of it. And knowing that transformation is going to take longer than 6 weeks, right? But to really give a container of support to give momentum and build momentum and have a set of practices that can really be helpful. So anyway, if you want to check that out, that's in the chat here. And I think when this video is done, I'll also write about a little bit more about that program. So that's the book update. A lot of people want to know, like, when is the actual release date? I can say confidently it will be the fall this year. And my hope is it'll be sometime September. My birthday's in September, so I really want this book to be a Virgo baby. Yeah, so that in the spirit of Virgo, to be of service to those folks who are really looking for real transformation. And yeah, so take a look at that. Thank you so much for following my work in Substack. Most of the time I'm writing. So again, this is my first live video. So thanks for your patience with that. And it's so great to see people here, to see that there's 11 people in the space. So yeah, if there are questions, if you're watching, I'm really open to responding or answering any questions that you might have about this new book. And um, one thing I do want to say about it is that it's very similar to in structure. Obviously, the content is super different, but the structure of The Artist's Way, some people may have read that in the 90s if you're around my age or older. Really fantastic book. I found it to be really helpful for myself when I read it. And I read that book, came out in the 90s. I read it in 2011, and it was a game changer for me. It really helped me spark my own transformation at that time, mostly around my career and where I wanted to be. And I was so moved by that book where it was a DIY, do it yourself. So I read it the way that it's supposed to be read, right? So it's not like read it cover to cover as fast as you can. It's a book about integration. So each chapter represents a week, and that's very similar to the book that I'm writing. So you read a short chapter, and there's practices, there's tasks, there's things that you can do yourself to really grow and learn. And you don't go to the next chapter until you complete that first chapter in the body of practices that it asks you to do. And if you do that, by the end of 12 weeks, right? If you think of 12 weeks, what is that? That's a season. That's a whole season. That's 3 months, right? So by the end of 3 months, you can look at yourself in the mirror and you can see, like, wow, like I'm shifting, I'm changing. And that book is about creativity, right? So it's a book about if you're a writer or if you're an artist. And I know a lot of people on Substack, that's who you are. These are, this is our people, right? So the yeah, so that book was really something that helped me kind of see, like, wow, transformation can happen, and it can start to happen in that kind of 3 month incubation period. And so I wanted to do something similar. And with somatics, the thing about somatics is it's it's really challenging to write a book about somatics because so much of what the work is really listening to the body. So writing in such a way that inspires you to read, right? But to really, like, the essence, the magic of this process is to do the work in between each week, chapter to chapter, to really engage in somatic practices to feel the difference, to build more capacity in your body for more choice. right? To organize around what you long for, what you want, what you desire, rather than letting the world kind of passively shape you and just kind of hang on for dear life, right? And we can do that even in these times. So that is what this book is all about. Super excited to share this update with you all. And again, if you have questions, I guess I'll just put in the chat to here um, my website um, and just kind of the contact. Like if you have any questions, if you want to get in touch, if you're thinking about writing a book, I'm always happy to respond to people and support them on their own creative journeys. So if you're watching this live, thank you so much for being here. And for other folks who see this later on, thanks for watching. And look out for some more book updates and in the future. And have a really fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you soon. Bye.